Welcome back to some more No Man's Sky. In the last video I did talk about the new Spider-Man movie, but I figured that I'll just talk about that some more and try to touch on some additional points because it was a really good movie. Here's something, it's not about the movie per se, but because the Vulture was played by Michael Keaton, who did like all those really old Tim Burton Batman movies, which not my favorite, to be honest. I prefer the Christopher Nolan ones by far. Although that said, I think the Tim Burton ones are kind of on par with Dark Knight Rises. And Dark Knight Rises, I feel, because the old Tim Burton Penguin movie, they kind of did Penguin, but he was really different from what you might expect. And I feel that was pretty similar to Dark Knight Rises. That Dark Knight Rises did the similar thing with Bane, because they're both still interesting characters, but they're not really what you'd expect. Dark Knight Rises. So, I just want to point out in the video, you see I'm not zooming in. Yeah, it's because basically in the Pathfinder update, zooming kinda didn't work because of the whole Steam controller integration thing. And I'm using an Xbox 360 controller, but basically I think by this time Valve had already put in the update that meant you could control, like you could use your Xbox controller or whatever other controller as a Steam controller. So what that meant is the game was seeing my Xbox controller as a Steam controller, because you can choose in the settings whether you want to just continue using it regularly or if you want to do it like a Steam controller. And so I picked you to do it like a Steam controller because I'm pretty sure it's, well, actually, maybe you can set it individually for different games, but it's nice for like games like Republic Commando, which doesn't have any controller support, and then you can use your Xbox controller with it. But it just for whatever reason, the update trying to zoom, and I think other buttons as well, like maybe trying to sprint, but namely trying to zoom, stopped working for my controller because the whole thing in the config where you can set it up was kind of wasn't really set up correctly or something like that. So not a big deal, but I didn't figure it out at first, so it took me a while to actually get that fixed, and it's annoying because then you couldn't discover those flying birds. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, I feel like Dark Knight Rises was also kind of like Iron Man 2, just because there's like a whole lot of build up, and you have you expect there to be like kind of like that the villain's gonna actually be some more to take down, but then Catwoman comes in and just guns him down. It's like, oh, that was really easy. Who knew that his weakness was bullets? Like, who knew all you had to do was just shoot him and he would die? Like, wow. And in Iron Man 2, basically, there was all this build up, and it was like, oh, they're going to be impossible to defeat, and then he just like defeats them in 2 seconds, which he could have always done, but he just decided not to, so it was like whatever. But anyways, Michael Keaton, basically, I saw him talking, and he basically said that about how Spider-Man cries. He said that Batman would never cry, which is kind of false, I guess, because Batman has cried, not just in the Flashpoint Paradox, which is the one that people always mention, but no, he's cried on other occasions. I don't remember any of the other occasions off the top of my head, but I have seen him cry in other occasions. So that was kind of a false statement. I guess it depends on your iteration of Batman. The Michael Keaton Batman did kill people. So did so did Christian Bale, depending on the movie. Whatever. I'm just saying, like, maybe one of the ones who doesn't kill people might be a little bit more sensitive, that's why they're not killing people. The thing, though, that was kind of nice about the Vulture and other characters in the Spider-Man movie was, and this is something the MCU has done really well, because sometimes in the comics, like, characters, like, it's like everyone has to have a gimmick, which is actually one of the things they said in Civil War. It's one of the lines. But everyone has a gimmick. Everyone has to be so, like, unique and wear, like, a really weird and dumb costume, and it can't just be, like, like there's just too many. Like if everyone is special and unique, then no one is. But you know what I mean. But it's just weird, and it's like, why are all these like people in dumb costumes running around when they wouldn't? Because obviously, if you could invent Iron Man armor in real life, well, you would bloody well use it, wouldn't you? But like if you could dress up in like yellow and a tiara, you probably wouldn't. And actually, most people can do that and choose not to, and that's of course Luke Cage. To be fair, in Ultimate Spider-Man, he's not wearing a tiara, but he is wearing yellow, but that makes more sense and it looks totally cool. Because it's like battle armor. So it's because it's like in one of the problems you would expect him to have is that he can get shot, but his clothing can't. So like his clothing gets all messed up. But it's basically they gave him a uniform, like an outfit that wouldn't break, and since he's working for Shield, it makes sense that he would have that. But like in the old like comics, he's wearing that stupid getup, but in the MCU version, he's just wearing a hoodie, and then he does have that problem where keeps getting shot and he has to get new clothes all the time. But he's not wearing a dumb getup, so it makes him feel a bit more real world and a bit more like what you would expect. And the other thing, Mockingbird they have in not anymore, but they had in Agents of Shield, and like in the comics, she's wearing like a really dumb outfit as well. But in the MCU, she's basically like like what you would kind of expect from a spy. Obviously, like, okay, she's not exactly 100%. What a spy would be like in real life, maybe. And considering she does work for a fictional spy agency and not a real spy agency, but she's a lot closer. And there are like in real life, there are these really like JTF2s, for example. But there are these people who are like so trained and that it would take like 13 years to replace them. It's it's intense, and who are the guys who can just take down like you see in the shows, they kill lots of people, and it's like, well, how come you're that good that none of them even were able to get you at all? Well, there are people like that in real life. They're rare, but there are people like that who are just really good. But she feels a lot more like real life because she's not wearing a dumb outfit. And that's that glitch again, by the way. I mentioned in a previous video of the auto hold X glitch that I was having. But like Vulture, he didn't come in and sometimes they have to do a whole monologue, and it's like, well, yes, I was watching Three's Company, which is like a really old TV show if you don't know what I'm talking. Let me do something people actually know what I'm talking about. I was watching Hell's Kitchen, and I thought, man, that guy is savage. And then I was watching a random YouTube video about a boy who put a fin on his dog, and that was how I chose the name of Savage Finn. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I don't care about the story behind it. I don't care about your whole monologue about you choose a name. And it's like this persona. It's like, why do you need a persona? Why can't you just be yourself? Right? Like in the comics, they always need like a persona. It's so weird. It's like, like why can't you just be? Why can't like the whole Mockingbird thing? Why not? Why is that not just a nickname? And why do you need a dumb outfit to work for Shield? Why would you not just wear like a regular uniform? You know what I mean? Like. In real spy agencies, they don't hand out dumb outfits. It's just like it's a rule or something, But in the show, he didn't come in like, "Hi, I'm the Vulture." He designed a thing that let him fly, and had obviously a Vulture theme to it. But that's another thing. Like, if you could design that in real life, that had like actual, the ability to let you fly, well, would you not use it? I would just never. I wouldn't turn to crime. I would just use that to get places. My goodness, like. If I needed to go to the office, I would just come in to the balcony, assuming he has a balcony or like whatever. I'd just land, walk in, and then I wouldn't have to do traffic. Like, of course you would do that in real life. I don't even think that anyone called him Vulture in the show. But, I think Spider-Man just wrote at the note he left, like, "Hi, I'm your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and here's a Vulture." He just wrote it as, I guess, like a joke. But, and that's something they're good at doing, is making it so that, like, all the people aren't choosing their own names. That either is like given to them, or else it's just like a little nickname, or else it's like a joke or whatever. Like Hulk didn't decide to start calling himself the Hulk; it was given to him by media or whatever, stuff like that. And Shocker, wasn't like he didn't have the whole persona as well. He was just a guy who had a weapon that let him shock people, and he was like an idiot who was like, "Oh, I'm the Shocker. Look at me, I'm so cool." And so Vulture kind of made fun of him for it, and also killed him. Or no spoilers. But whatever, it doesn't matter. That happens. there's also something that I didn't spoil. So even though, I didn't spoil everything related to the Shocker, but he just had a thing to let him shock people. They also had the Prowler, but he wasn't really the Prowler yet, I think. So that doesn't necessarily count. There's Mac Gargan, but I don't know if he was a Scorpion. I don't think so. So yeah, it's something I do like about the MCU. Iron Man 2 is kind of a regular person, right? Because he did come out and say, "Hi, I'm Tony Stark." So he's not like this guy with like a whole secret identity and a persona and everything. He's just Tony Stark who happens to have an Iron Man suit, so it's a lot more, But it was actually nice seeing him too as a secondary character, because he's kind of an egomaniac, and there's been all this character progression, and it's nice to see him while he's not in the middle of like either battling alcoholism or battling PTSD or battling coming to terms with the whole cave thing and whatever. It was nice to see him like sort of, not going through any of that, and it's just as a secondary background character. I thought it was pretty good. And it was also nice seeing, Happy and Pepper secondaries. That was pretty good. What else? It was I forget the guy's name, but like Peter Parker's friend, like on all the trailers and everything, he was pretty cool. Like that character a lot. Liz was Vulture's daughter. I don't know if that's in the same in the comics at all. I don't think so, but I don't know actually. I like that Spider-Man did mundane things. I'm just, like, what? I did spoil one thing, and this isn't really even spoilers, but I won't even. If you haven't seen the movie yet, you can watch it and experience it for yourself. I won't actually spoil that. There's no origin story, obviously, because it's after Civil War, which I think is good because we've seen the origin story so many times, and I think it's good to just sort of get into it. It's kind of like Year One Spider-Man, where he's finally going to be starting to deal with actual super villains, I think. So it's not necessarily the definitive Spider-Man, just because he doesn't really make a lot of quips all the time compared to other Spider-Man. At the same time, he doesn't really feel like Spider-Man, so it's kind of weird. Like, he feels like Spider-Man, but he doesn't always do Spider-Man things, aka the quips, and so he doesn't have spider sense. It does feel, though, like the Spider-Man, like the definitive kind of Spider-Man story, because sometimes they make it sad and for no reason, but I think Spider-Man's story should be, like, happy and fun, and, instead of making them very, very sad, but the only part that would, like, kind of not, happy was the part where, like, in the trailers where all those people almost died, but that wasn't too bad, and, I still think 1960s Spider-Man was the best, and always will be, but, this was really good, and Tom Holland, like, at some points you can kind of tell he has a British accent, but I think he did a really, really good job, so I was really happy with the movie. I think that's about all I had to say about that, and that's almost all the video. I'm just going to mention everything up to the 28th video is pre-Pathfinder from like last year. The last 3 seconds of the 20th video are Pathfinder, and then everything 29 forward recorded in March, and that is post-Pathfinder. Apparently, today's the 20th. It's past 12, so it's 21st technically, but apparently there's going to be a new update coming out soon, so I want to get all my back footage done before then, because I was stupid and decided to play without recording narration while I played, even though I wanted narration, so I just figured I'd do it later, which was a dumb idea. But yeah, so I have a lot of because I haven't played since March, and I have a lot of footage since then, and basically I'm just trying to get through it, but it's a lot. It's like at least 10 hours. It's a lot. Yeah. So there's 30 seconds left. Not going to start any new points, because that would be pointless. So yeah, I don't know what to say though for 20 seconds now, which is not fun. It's not fun. You have like so little time left. You can't talk about anything, but you still need to fill the time with something. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'll just do an outro now. So if you like the video, please give it a like, and have a great rest of your day.